I'd like to welcome you all to this webinar on business professionalism and social media. My name is Jamie Pittman, and I'm Program Director of Student Development for the Rawls College of Business Career Management Center. Typically, during the summer sessions, we are invited to present this material to Summer Business Institute in person. But with everything that's going on, we've had to adjust just a little bit and kind of change the way we do things. So we've decided to record these and make these videos available to you. One thing I want to mention is for you guys that are undergrad of a different degree, so you're taking the Summer Business Institute for the Rawls College of Business since your undergrad is in another major. So what I'd like to share with you is you can see that I work for the Career Center inside the Rawls, but you guys are able to use the Texas Tech Career Center should you want to develop any of this further or have questions about anything that you might be able to get help with during the summer or the regular school year that the Texas Tech Career Center can provide for you. So let's go ahead and get started. And again, I just want to say that this is all a little bit new and this isn't typically how I'm used to addressing students, so hopefully we won't have any technical difficulties and we can get through this. Okay, professional is not a label you give yourself, it's a description you hope others will apply to you. So you're going to be learning about different aspects of business and professionalism. So these are some things, the things we're going to talk about today are some of the things that you need to start thinking about when you're putting yourself out there, when you're looking for those internships and you're going to begin to look for that full-time job offer in the future. So professional is something that you can say you're professional all day long, but you want other people to be able to say that, okay, yeah, this person has, acted professionally in a certain situation, or they have, given us that first impression of professionalism, that type of thing. So this is what we're going to talk about. Let's talk about first impressions. And you can see the guy here, he's ready to give his handshake. He's ready to meet somebody. So if you'll notice there, the things that stand out to me is the way he's dressed, nicely, he looks nice, nicely groomed. He probably does need to shave now that I look at that picture. Beards are okay, but you want to make sure that they're nicely trimmed. So in this situation, he looks like he has a little bit of stubble. So he either needs to shave it off or grow it out. But that's just kind of funny that we can kind of notice these things when we look back at them. So first impressions really do make a difference. When you're walking up and you're meeting somebody for the first time, you're going to make sure that you make that eye contact. You're going to make sure that you extend out for a firm handshake. And think about your nonverbal communication, okay? So if you look at this graph up here, 55% of body language is communication. So that's why it's important when you are meeting somebody for the first time, or not even the first time, but each time that you meet them, that you're making a great impression. So not only when you're meeting someone in person, you need to think about other things that are first impressions for you, okay? Someone may come across you on social media or LinkedIn, and that may be their first impression of you. So you're going to want to make sure that that's appropriate as well. We'll get into that a little bit later. Or your resume. If you've applied for a job and the first thing they see is your resume, that might be their first impression of you, okay? So you're going to want to make sure that your resume is top notch, and that's something else you're going to learn about with some of our other videos that we're offering for Summer Business Institute. So when we're talking about business professional attire, let's talk about what that means, because I know a lot of times students get confused on, what does that mean? What is professional attire? You might hear someone say that the dress code for your event is business casual, okay? Business casual is typically what you'll see people wear to work. That's not quite as dressed up as business professional. And obviously, you know what casual attire is, okay? So let's talk a little bit more specifically about what business professional attire. So we're starting with women here, and you can see that pretty much for business professional attire for a woman is going to be a jacket along with the skirt or the pants, okay? So what kind of sets this apart from business casual is adding the jacket. Typically, the business suit is going to be matching color. So you can see in these pictures that it's either black on black or navy or gray or something like that, okay? So You can get away with a different colored jacket or skirt, but it doesn't look quite as sharp. Okay, so if you want to stick with the same color top and bottom. Now, as far as the blouse underneath, you can see that most of these women have on white, one has on gray. That's okay. You don't have to have on a white or gray blouse underneath, but what you want to stay away from is any kind of crazy patterns or anything like that on your blouse. If it's a cotton blouse, you want to make sure that it's does not have wrinkles. Okay, so it's nicely pressed. And then let's talk about pantyhose. Okay, women, you do not have to wear pantyhose to be business professional. That is probably the best news that has come along in the last few years, is that pantyhose are really not, you can wear them if you want to, but you don't have to. So that's really great. Shoes, you want to wear a closed-toed shoe, and you can wear heels, but make sure that you're comfortable walking in that heel if you want it to be heels. Flats don't look as professional. Some people have to wear flats for different reasons, but if you can get away with a little bit of a pump or a little bit of a heel, that's going to make it look a little more dressy. Okay, as far as your hair, you just don't want your hair to be a distraction to you, so you don't want your hair in your eyes or anything like that. But if you want to wear your hair down and it's not going to get in your eyes and be a distraction to you, that's fine. Or you can wear your hair back. It's just up to you. Okay, so we could go into a lot more detail about business professional, but that's pretty much hitting the high points for women. Okay, so men, same thing as women. Business professional attire means a suit. So you can see in these pictures that these guys are wearing a matching suit. So the jacket and the pants actually match. When you see a guy wearing, let's say he's wearing tan slacks and like a navy jacket, that's really more approaching business casual. So when you're talking about business professional, you're talking about a matching suit, top and bottom, shirt and tie. Okay, so if you're going into an interview situation, you really want to kind of just check and see, you know, what's the environment that I'm interviewing in. Now, for business students, we tell them always, always, always wear business professional attire. But since you guys are in different majors, it just depends on what you're interviewing for. So you kind of want to pay attention to, you know, what is this industry? How do they dress? That type of thing. Sometimes you'll go into an interview and they'll tell you what the dress code is. But you're just going to have to weigh that out depending on what the industry is that you're going in to interview for. You can always ask. I mean, you know, you can kind of ask what the day-to-day dress code is like inside, you know, the job to kind of give you an idea. But I will say that it's always better to overdress than to underdress. Okay, but if you're not sure, then you can just do some checking around to see what you can find out. We wanted to make sure that you guys understand what business professional attire looks like. So some things to watch out for guys is, guys, make sure that your shirt is pressed. Okay, that's one thing that I see, like at career fairs and stuff like that. I'll see some students come across and yeah, they've got on the suit and they've got on the tie, but they've got a wrinkly shirt underneath. And that really, really just kind of undoes everything you just did with your business professional attire. Again, going back to first impressions. So, you know, wrinkled shirt is a no-go. Let's see what else. So color of suit really doesn't matter. You can go with gray, you can go with navy, you can do black. Sometimes black can look a little more dressy because it kind of crosses over into the, you know, way a tux would look, but we do see black suits as well. Just make sure that your tie is nothing crazy. You don't want to try to stand out with your tie. You want it to just be something that looks nice with and matches the shirt and the suit that you're wearing. If you're not sure, then go to a store that sells clothing, you know, dressy clothing like that, and they can kind of help you match up a shirt and a tie that will go with your suit. Okay, guys, make sure that you're well groomed. Beards are okay, just make sure they're trimmed. Just, you know, don't go in with stubble. You always want to shave if you're clean. If you do not have a beard, you just want to be clean shaven. Okay, so not only when we're talking about being professional, not only does it matter what your first impression is and how you're dressed, but think about the ways that you carry yourself in different situations, whether that's in an internship or a full-time job. Think about honesty and integrity, okay? These are some things that are important and will get noticed by other people. So things like trustworthiness, keeping your word, honesty, staying true to your values, doing the right thing, and accountability. Okay, so doing the right thing even when no one is watching, okay, that's a level of professionalism that will go a long way. And these are some things that really require no talent at all. Okay, these are choices that you can make to do in ways that you want other people to be able to see you. And when you do these things, like in an internship, those things are going to stand out. They're going to help you stand out among other students who aren't trying to make as good of an impression as you are. Also, things like self-regulation and awareness, okay? The ability to remain professional under pressure. There's going to be times when you're in situations that maybe you get upset. You know, it happens, and you've got to be able to control yourself. There's going to be times when maybe you aren't getting along with other people, and you have to learn how to work with people on teams that maybe, you know, get under your skin. And it's going to require a level of professionalism for you to be able to tolerate people that maybe have different ideas than you or different from you. And that's where a lot of this self-regulation awareness comes in. Being mindful of your strengths, your limitations, your personality styles, as well as that of those around you. So how do you do this? You know, do things that allow you to be able to understand yourself and others better. Take assessments like personality assessments, Strengths Quest. Okay, Strengths Quest is an assessment that Texas Tech offers free to tech students, and I think every tech student needs to take Strengths Quest at some point. It's a little evaluation that gives you your top 5 strengths, and I think those are great. Those are great ways for you to know, okay, these are the things that I do well. It's great to be able to talk about that in an interview, but also to when you're in a situation, you're working with others, you're working on teams, you can operate in those strengths, okay? And do well working on teams. That also plays into professionalism. Understanding personality styles. This is important because, just like I said, you're going to get in situations where you're working on teams at some point, and maybe you're clashing with someone that has a different personality style than you, and there's going to be times when you may clash, and you're going to have to be able to handle that situation professionally. So understanding other personality styles and why people do the things they do can help you to be able to be more tolerant and also just be a better team player. Okay, now we're going to switch gears just a little bit out of the professionalism realm, and we're going to talk more about social media and how you can be portrayed online and that type of thing. So when you think about personal branding, okay, what are you thinking about? It's the practice of people marketing themselves and their careers as brands, okay? Because now that pretty much everything is online, there's all kinds of branding going on. You do have a personal brand, whether you think you do or not, okay? So where does that come from? Well, it comes from how you are portraying yourself to others, even in person, okay? But a lot of it is coming from how you're portraying yourself on the internet, okay? So this is something that you really need to start thinking about. It's never too early to start thinking about it, and it's never too late, okay? When it comes to a level of professionalism, how you portray yourself in person is important, but how you portray yourself online is probably even more important, okay? So your digital stamp is your digital print plus all the shadows, okay? So think about that. So the digital print, what you leave, the print that you leave online now, but also the shadows, because it's not going away, right? Okay, so you've got to think about what's out there. What can I do about it now? What can I do about it going forward? One of the best things you can do right now is Google yourself. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to put your name in the Googler and see what pops up. All right, so you want to go at least down 2 or 3 pages. Why do you think you might want to do that? Well, the reason is employers are going to Google you. Okay, so they're going to Google you, they're going to see what pops up. What you want to pop up in a Google search is obviously positive content. Okay, so one of the things that we want business students one of the first things we want to pop up for business students is their LinkedIn profile. And I think it'd be great. I think it'd be great for, it doesn't matter what major you are, I think it'd be great for you to have a presence on LinkedIn. I used to work at a bank for 11 years, and that's one of the first things I would do after I got a resume is I'd look for them on LinkedIn, because there's more information. You can gather more information on LinkedIn. And a lot of recruiters will take it a step further, and they're going to go look for you on other social media as well. So that's why you want to make sure that your digital footprint and your shadows are what you want people to see about you, okay? I have talked to some recruiters who say, no, we don't necessarily go digging in all social media. I mean, most of them will for sure use LinkedIn, but the majority of them will use another platform to try to find you, okay? So this means you want to be very careful what you're posting on Facebook. Instagram is a little more tricky for them to be able to find you on, but if your Instagram name is your name, then it'd probably be pretty easy for them to find you. I would say Twitter and Facebook are the ones that they're probably going to use the most. So you want to be sure you're cleaning up your social media. You want to be in control of what is posted online about you. So as far as Facebook goes, you could go ahead and just make your account private if you want to, which is perfectly fine. Just because your account's private doesn't mean that you're trying to hide something, okay? So that's totally up to you. Now, if your account is not private, then you're going to really want to go through there and just go through your feed, and you're going to want to see, okay, are there any pictures of me that I need to untag myself in or I need to delete? Okay, what does your profile picture look like? What is your profile picture saying about you? Okay, these are all things that employers and recruiters are looking for and thinking when they're looking at your social media. I recommend that you be in control of what you can be tagged in on Facebook. So go into the settings, and you need to be able to approve whether or not you're tagged in photos, because you want to know what's being put out there of you on social media, okay? Now, as far as social media being your brand, you can definitely use social media to promote yourself. You can definitely use your social media to put yourself out there and let people know you're looking for a certain kind of internship, or you're looking for a certain full-time job even. Some people don't choose to do that, but I mean, think about how wide open that network is if you do decide to use that type to promote yourself as a personal brand. So let's think about some things that could possibly happen. So these are some reasons, according to a Career Builder survey, these are some reasons that people were not hired because of their social media, okay? So you definitely want to take this serious. You want to think, okay, should I post this? Should I comment on this? Okay, should I say this on Twitter? People can get mouthy on Twitter. You just got to be real. You got to be super careful, okay? Because again, some employers are going to dig on social media. And I've even had an employer, they have some kind of software, I don't know what it is, but they basically put your name in, and it pulls you up on every platform known to man and finds basically finds you on all of them. So just know that you want to make sure that just in case the employers are out there and they're looking for anything and everything, that you're going to be good to go, and that you're going to be displaying the kind of image that you want to display online. All right, so let's talk a little bit about LinkedIn. I'm not going to go into super duper detail, but there's ways for you to get more information about LinkedIn. Definitely use Texas Tech Career Center, or just go online. There's so much information online on how to build a great LinkedIn profile. But I would say that if you're spending the money to do Summer Business Institute with the Rawls College of Business, then you probably want to go ahead and build yourself a LinkedIn profile. So I highly recommend that you do this on your desktop. Don't try to do it on your phone, because you're going to miss some steps. The phone doesn't quite get all the little nooks and crannies and the details that you want. So just go ahead and go to linkedin.com on your desktop or your laptop, whatever, and start building your profile from there. Feel free to reach out to me and connect with me on LinkedIn. I love connecting with students, and I try to share career-related posts and that type of thing on LinkedIn. So the thing about LinkedIn is, I mean, why not? Why wouldn't you want to build your network and to be able to expose yourself to, possible career opportunities? And I know some majors and some, particular, jobs and that type of thing doesn't necessarily require that you be on LinkedIn. But if you're doing, like I said, if you're doing Summer Business Institute, then you're probably, you're probably gonna be looking for a job where you're gonna need some business networks. So some networking. So that's my recommendation is for you to go ahead and build the most robust profile that you can on LinkedIn. The good thing about LinkedIn is that there's really no rules. Just when it comes to a resume, and you'll hear this when we talk about it later, is there's so many things that you should and should not do on a resume. Well, the cool thing about LinkedIn is you can pretty much do anything. The more content, the merrier on LinkedIn. Please have a professional looking headshot. No, you don't have to be wearing your business professional attire. Now, for Rawls business students, that's what we tell them. Yes, you need to have on your business professional attire. I'm not sure what industry you're planning on going into, so you kind of want to take that into account too. But you definitely want to look nice. You don't want to be in a photo with someone else. It should be just you. Don't crop just your head, okay? You want it to be a head and shoulders crop on your photo. Don't crop it out of your prom picture or that time you were in a wedding, anything like that, okay? So it needs to be a nice headshot that you specifically want to use for LinkedIn. LinkedIn profiles that have a headshot are 13 times more likely to be viewed by people, and namely recruiters. You want to make sure that you use some really good keywords in your headline and in your about section, or your I believe it's called an about section now. When you're able, you have 2,000 characters there available to talk about yourself. So use all of that space. Don't try to skimp through on your LinkedIn, because the skimpy profiles are not the ones that get noticed. The robust profiles are the ones that get noticed, okay? So LinkedIn is a great way for you to promote your personal brand in a professional networking situation, okay? Keep in mind, LinkedIn is social, but it's a professional social network, okay? So I hope you guys enjoyed this webinar. Please feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions or you want more information. And also just know that you can utilize the Texas Tech University Career Center for your career-related needs. Thanks for tuning in.